Hi, thanks for popping in with me today. My name is Janice Waitman, and I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 26 years. I live in Illinois, in the northern part, near the Wisconsin border. And my blog is www.stampaholics.com, so I hope you get a chance to stop by there. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a suite that's in the current mini catalog. It looks like this, the January through June 2022 mini catalog. And the suite I'm going to be sharing is the Heart and Home Suite. And whenever you purchase a suite, you get everything in the collection. And this happens to be one of the largest suites. It includes 2 bundles, which is a stamp set and die. So you get 2 bundles. You get an embossing folder ribbon, embellishments, doilies, memories, and more, cards kit, as well as the card bases and designer series paper. And I'm going to be using just a few parts of this. So I'm going to be using the designer series paper, and this stamp set here, the Blessings of Home. And I like when you have a stamp set that coordinates with the dies because they fit beautifully. So I'm going to put that aside. And let me show you. Here is the bundle. This is the Blessings of Home bundle. Have a perfect birthday. We can get through anything together. What a beautiful day for love. And you are a real blessing to everyone around you. And then thank you for inspiring me. And then it has some floral images, which are beautiful for coloring or making a monochromatic card, which is what I'm going to be doing today. But this is shown, you can see here it says the images on the front of this case are shown at 90% of their actual size, just because there's not enough room to show them at the full size. But you can see how the coordinating dies fit the stamped images perfectly. So that's one of the nice things here. I got to get it the right way, but you can see that's the nice thing. You stamp the image and then you can cut it out. And there's a variety of dies here, from the smaller flowers and leaves and the larger images. So that is the bundle. I'm going to put that aside for now. And here are all the supplies to make the card I'm going to share today. This is using Pel Papaya, one of the current in colors. And it's just a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cut in half. So that's enough, one sheet to make 2 cards. And I'm just using a bone folder. And whenever I score a card, I turn it over and do both sides so it has a nice crease. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put an insert inside the card. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the image I want to use. This is Cinnamon Cider. This is a retiring in color. It's a current color 2020 through 2022 that will be retiring at the end of this current catalog year. So if this is a color you like, it's one of my favorites, you should get it now while it's still available. So I'm going to take this floral image and I'm going to stamp it once on my envelope, just right here. And you see what a pretty image that is. And that's such a nice color. It's kind of a burnt, rusty orange. And then I'm going to re-ink it. And now I just want a shadow of a design. So I'm just going to lighten it here. This is going to be for the inside of my card. And I'm just going to put a little bit of a flower, a little bit softer, down at the bottom. And then while I have my ink out so I don't get my fingers in it, I'm going to stamp the greeting, "We can get through anything together." And this is the die cuts. It's called the tailor-made tags. They're on page 166 of the annual catalog. And it comes with an assortment of tags. And this one, I just chose a smaller one. I'm going to put it down here so I can see the contrast better with the background. Okay. There you go. And then I'm going to close up the ink pad so I don't get my fingers in it. That happens. So whenever you open and close the new design, you just pull it towards you and then flip it over. So the ink is always stored upside down. Okay, so now let's assemble this. I'm going to take the seal adhesive and I'm going to take the basic gray cardstock and just pull it around here. The secret to using the seal, you want to keep it up a little bit higher and you want to not press too hard. It doesn't take a firm touch, very light touch. And just release it. You can always tell which side is which because you want to be able to read it. And this has a little bit of a texture at the top to pull your finger along. So I'm going to put this on the card base. And I just kind of eyeball it to get the corners centered. And when I feel like it's pretty well centered on there, then I press it down. Now let's put the inside of the card together. Sometimes to get it going, you can either use your finger or the silicone sheet here. There we go. And it's kind of like, I call it a California rolling stop. I don't stop, I just keep the adhesive going. And did I run out of adhesive? Right, yeah, I'm at the end. You can tell when you get to the red line. But fortunately, I could use a refill. I just don't have a refill in front of me right now. I just happen to have two just in case. So this will be my card insert. Now this cardstock, the cardstock base, the Pale Papaya, is soft enough in color that I wouldn't have to put an insert in. I just like to because I think it's a little more elegant to have an insert. Then I'm going to take the Designer Series paper, and this is the Heart and Home Designer Series paper on page 59 in the knitting catalog. All of our Designer Series papers are two-sided and they coordinate with our cardstock colors. This one kind of looks like a wood grain panel. And I'm just going to put it upright, and you see how this blends nicely with the Pale Papaya. And again, get it centered. And then press down. Now the other die, I use 3 different dies for this. This is one of the basic dies I think everyone should have. It's the stitched rectangles. And this you can find on page 165 of the annual catalog. And it has assorted rectangular sizes that you can cut, and you can see the stitched edging. I use these a lot. They're great for basic, almost any card you want to make and have on hand. So I'm just going to adhere this directly to the card. And then I went ahead and stamped the flower image earlier on white, basic white cardstock, and then I cut it out with the dies. And I'm just going to put this on here direct. And then I got a little adhesive on there. Didn't want to do that. So now I'm going to use dimensionals. And when you get to the end of your dimensionals, I know I still have a few left here. Don't throw them away. You can take the corner pieces, the side pieces, and just cut them apart, and you can use those as well. So I'm just going to put one here so nothing goes to waste. Don't throw it away. And then I'm just going to peel off the back and kind of put it at an angle. And then I'm going to take the Baker's Twine. This is the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. When you get it, you usually, I think you get 4 different colors. I think there's white, vanilla, black, and gray. And then I'm just going to make a little loop. If you can tie a shoe, you can make this bow. So this is doubled up, so it has a little more thickness. And then you can make the little tails a little bit smaller once you get it put together. And then just pull a little bit tighter. And then I always trim the tails more after I get it put on the card. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the ends off. And then I'm just going to put a glue dot down here. These are wonderful. So I'm just going to put it right on top of the hole of the tag. There you go. And then I can see if it needs to be trimmed down anymore. And it's just kind of a light, it gives a little texture to the card. It's fairly faint because it's white on a white card piece, so it just kind of blends in. And the next thing I want to add to this card are the embellishments. Right here they are. These are the bumblebee trinkets. They're found in the annual catalog. It's on page 141 of the current annual catalog. And you get 20 of these. They're $7.50. And you can see, I'll show you in a minute once I get it put on the card, you'll be able to see better. Let me get another glue dot right here. And I want to put the bee. I'm just putting the glue dot on the piece of cardstock where I want it. And then I'm just going to put the bee here. And I'm going to put it up close so you can see what a nice accent that is on the card. The last thing I'm going to do, I love adding Wink of Stella to cards. It just adds a little subtle shimmer. And you can see when I touch it with this, it kind of bleeds the ink a little bit as well. So it kind of softens it and gives a little shimmer sparkle. And I may be getting low on this one, but you can see how the ink, kind of the lines become a little blurry. So it's just a little subtle touch to add a little jazz to the card. So that's what it looks like, and here's your envelope. Easy peasy, a fun, very elegant, springy card. You could make it a birthday card, whatever you want to. Let me go over the supply list with you. The stamp set was the Blessings of Home bundle in the mini catalog. I just showed you that image on page 58 through 60. And don't forget to look at the samples. Whenever we as demonstrators get new catalogs, the first thing I always look at is the product. And then I go back and look again and look at all the samples. There's just a lot to take in. But the catalogs are more than just a catalog of our product. They're also an idea book for inspiration. The ink I used is cinnamon cider. That will be going away beginning of May because that's one of the retiring in colors. The cardstock I used was Pale Papaya, Basic Gray and Basic White. I used the tailor-made tags. They're on page 166 of the annual catalog. So here's our dies. These are standalone dies. They're not shown with the bundle or anything else. You can see you get an assortment of tags and the little, not sure what you call them, the little grommets here that cover the holes. And the other die that I use, is a standalone die as well, is the stitched rectangles. Both of those dies I consider basics, like your little black dress that everybody needs to have on hand, and you get an assortment of rectangular shaped dies. And that includes 13 dies. I also use the Flowers of Home die. That's what I use to cut out the flowers, and that's in the mini catalog as well. The DSP was the Heart and Home DSP on page 59 of the mini catalog. The accessories I used were dimensionals, glue dots, the Wink of Stella for a little sparkle, the Baker's Twine Essential Pack that I tied the little bow with, the Bumblebee trinkets, which I love. They're so cute. And then envelopes Basic White. And you should always stamp your envelope as a teaser to the card. And again, my name's Janice Waitman, and this is my blog, stampahowlicks.com, like a wolf howling at the moon filled with rubber stamps. And there's my email address as well. And I live near the Rockford, Illinois area, which is up by the Wisconsin border between Wisconsin and Illinois. So thank you for tuning in with me today. I hope you had a great time and enjoyed this project. Make it a good one.